Hello, Vikster. Thank you very much for
Hello.
doing this. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's been a while since we've seen each other. I can remember the first time we met was on the set of a TV series that we were doing. We were both playing extras, and I can remember meeting you, and I'll never forget what you said to me when you looked at me and you were like, "Where do I know you from? Or what are you famous for?" And I was like, "Nothing as far as I guess." Everybody was saying that to me. It was a nice compliment. I would take it as a compliment. And yeah, it was very nice to finally work with you. Everybody was great on set that day, and I still kept in touch with a lot of people like yourself, for example, because it's good when you're working in the same field as other people, and you can bounce off each other's energy, and you can just sense that how great that person is to work with. And like I said, everybody was great to work with, including yourself. And big shout out to everybody else who was there that day. I still remember quite a few people: Anna, Livia, what was it, Faison, Peshush, Nesh, everyone. Just kept in touch with absolutely nearly everyone on the set that day.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, that was a good set.
It was a good time. Yeah, it was. Well, again, thank you very much for doing this, and you've been doing very well. So I've been following your work, and all the songs, songwriting, the acting. You've practically done it all. I was going to ask you what is your performance background, but I think I should rephrase the question. Is there anything in the performance business you haven't done yet?
I don't do dancing. Dancing's not it's not a thing. We don't dance.
Yeah, likewise, I don't dance either.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So what I usually like to do with all my guests is, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations on all your accomplishments. You've practically done it all, and wish you nothing but the best for the foreseeable future as well. And for those who do not know you, Vikster, what is your background and how did you get into the performance business?
I think it was mainly like at school we had to do. No, I'm talking primary school. We had to do obviously nativity and stuff, and I loved it. I don't know why. I just loved it. And then, like when you go into year 3, 4, 5, and 6, you'd have to do the play at the end of the year.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, year 3 and 4 at my school was always like you're just in the chorus, and then 5 and 6 was more like you're actually on the stage acting. And I just really liked it. And I was getting singing lessons, and my granddad used to have a grand piano, and whenever I go over from like the age of 4, he'd teach me like little bits on the piano, how to play and things like that. And I think it just stuck with me. And then I was like, oh, I love doing this. Like, it's fun. And then I went off to college and did music, and uni and did music, and it just rolled.
Yeah, so rolled into greatness is what it did.
Yeah, I mean, there have been ups and downs where I've been like, do I want to continue doing this? Is it worth it?
Yeah, I know it happens because yeah, no, it happens like that because sometimes you wonder as well, like, will this work out for me? Will it not work out for me? Do I need something else to fall back on? But you're never ever going to know until you actually give it everything you've got. I know acting business is a very tough business to get into, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do any of the acting anymore. I don't remember last time I went on a film set. But the thing is, like with music, you can do it and run it alongside something else. But you obviously you need the money to invest. So you have to work to be able to invest, because everybody thinks like it's like when people go, oh yeah, you could just be signed to a major record label, you'll make millions. And it's like no one actually realizes if I go, I'm going to give you a £5 million record deal, that means they're going to invest 5 million into you, but you've got to pay it back.
Yeah.
So it's like when Lewis Capaldi said, yeah, I've got these hit songs, but I've never seen a penny. Yeah, because he's got to pay back what they've invested first, and then he will get his money. And people don't realize that.
Yeah, so they're practically running around for peanuts, in other words, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens because that's what they do, don't they? With a lot of record businesses, a lot of big time acting agencies as well. They have to make sure that is their investment worth the while. Will this certain individual pay back what I'm investing time and money and effort into them? It does happen to a lot of people. It's the make or break period. It's going to take somebody for a million years to pay back a £5 million record.
But then you've got things like with TikTok now,
Yeah,
where a lot of people are being discovered on TikTok and stuff, and they're all independent artists. So they've recorded everything themselves, done everything themselves. So they're actually making the money from it for themselves because they've had to grind and do their own way and make their own way there.
definitely, yeah. Because then that way they don't have to, they don't owe anything to anybody. They're self-made people, which is always the route everybody's doing. The best self-employment route you can ever think of.
Well, it's like nowadays, most artists make the most money from like merchandise, not from sales of songs and things. It's the merchandise. It's people buying into the artist as a product.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And who was your favorite singer growing up, and that inspired that you looked at and you were like, okay, I want to be like that individual there.
I always really, I always really liked Jason Derulo.
Okay,
Still do love him.
Got some good tracks.
I grew up, yeah. I grew up with Taylor Swift.
Okay.
But I will personally admit, like, call me a Swiftie or not, vocally, I don't think she's the best singer out there. Because yeah, I'm just saying, vocally, I don't think she is the best, because you've got people like Beyonce, Ariana Grande, those type of people. But songwriting, she's a genius, and her business, her as a businesswoman, is also a genius. And a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people hate on her because she's so successful, and because they don't understand the music industry, they don't actually understand what she's done. Like, I say to most artists, they're like, oh, Taylor Swift, I don't get the hype. And I'm like, yeah, you might not get the hype. And they're like, oh, I can't stand her. And I'm like, yeah, but the reason you get paid more on Spotify is because of people like her. She refused and pulled all her music off Spotify until Spotify increased the amount that artists get paid for their music. Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that. So I'm grateful to her because I get paid more per stream because of her. So I'm like, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Vikster. That's good. Well, would you like to appear one day on stage with her, and maybe somebody else that you'd like to collaborate with?
To be fair, I don't think I'd be able to work with Taylor Swift. I think I'd just be too starstruck. I'd be like, I can't do it. it won't be my best work. I'm too distracted.
I think every performer gets like that when they keep thinking whether they're an actor or a dancer or a singer. They're always going to be saying, well, how would you behave, or how would you be the person who inspired you the most? You got the opportunity to work with them. How would you do it? 90% of the time there's not much professionalism there, because you're kind of geeking out and too starstruck. Oh my God, this person's right here in front of me. Like, for example, for myself, like, if I got to meet Sylvester Stallone one day in real life, I'd be like, oh my God, that's Rocky, that's Rambo, that's the guy who inspired me to write, direct, act, take up sports and everything. And I'm here with them, and you'll probably be like, hey, how you doing? And that hitting me like punching me in the arms. I don't care, Rocky, just punch me. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because everybody would get like that. You have to keep continuously pinching yourself to keep saying that, is this actually happening? Am I dreaming right now? What's going on here? If this is a dream, nobody wake me up, please. This is a dream come true. And you would be.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember when I used to go on the film sets and I used to be like, oh my God, it's that person.
Yeah.
But I now work in hospitality, and I work around a lot of VIP clients. And it's like, the kind of craze of a celebrity actually dies after a while. You're just like, you realize how much of a normal person they are, and they just want to be treated normally.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, hi. Just carry on with my day.
That's good. You still remain humble, which is always a good thing there. And what shows have you appeared in anyway recently? And because I remember the first time I met you, it was on the set of it was a BBC drama we were doing together.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't even remember what the show was. I remember where it was.
Yeah, in Birmingham. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember it was were in that theatre, but I actually don't remember what the show was.
It was Champions we were doing, and yeah, like I said, it was a really interesting day. Then, I mean, 90% of the time we were just sat around, like not doing anything, were we? Until the very last hour and a half, and they were, "Oh, everybody, we're ready now. You can all come in." Like, it took them that many hours to get this one thing set up, and but it was still
that's the film industry.
Yeah.
Have you there in case?
Yeah, many takes, many takes. Sometimes not even no takes at all. I can remember sometimes when I've been on film sets, and they don't actually use you until the very last 10 minutes. And you've been there since 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're sitting around there reading a book or doing some creative writing and like just talking to people, mingling. But in a way, it's actually a good thing. We can sit there and mingle with people, get to know them. You know, what agency are you with? Who are you with? How do I go by signing this one, that one? Yeah, it's good. Make friends with them.
Yeah, it's a good networking way, definitely, because you're literally around a bunch of creative people.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You can, if you tried, you couldn't be around a more diverse, but all in the creative industry.
Definitely, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So, what shows have you done recently?
I actually haven't. The last thing I did was, it was like a modeling job for a company, because they were, it was like it was like a marketing media company were creating a beauty brand side, and they wanted, like, they needed to film content to create their portfolio. That was the last thing I did. I want to say Champion was the last film set I went on.
Yeah, back in 2022.